Hello and welcome to the Gamescast. Welcome to X-Plane 11. As you can see, we're in X-Plane. This is the X-Plane 11 Beta 9, I believe. It might be Beta 10, I can't remember. And anyway, we are going to, I'm going to show it off. And it's going to be a bit of a discussion video about the flight simulators. All the various ones that are meant to be coming out. I did do a discussion a little while ago, a little bit before Christmas. However, it's been a few months and I want to do another one because a lot has changed. And I want to say my views on certain simulators and stuff. First of all, we're going to turn off on this plane. Obviously, you can see it's a Cessna. I'm going to put the mixture in halfway. Turn the masters on. Onyx on, get the fuel pump on, get the pilot seat on, give it a bit of throttle as well. Give it a bit more mixture than maybe, that's how we do it on this. Just keep the power in. You can see the RPM down here. This little dial here. Turn off the fuel pump. In fact, we'll have pilot heat because it's probably quite cold. Up here you can see some various stuff. Altitude, speed, miles per hour, and knots. This is our true airspeed. We also have the amount of fuel in each engine, which I was using earlier on. This being a beta, there are likely to be bugs or whatever. You can see buildings flying, etc. That's obviously is to be expected. It's something I know they're working hard to get fixed. Anyway, let's just turn around onto a runway. We're on Lima Foxtrot, Lima Juliet in France. Oh god, I forgot the airport. It's by a ski resort though. And I need to turn around. It's uphill, so it's quite difficult. There you go. We should roll down. Fine now. Oh gosh, we're rolling backwards. So X-Plane 11. So I've been in sort of two minds about this for quite a long time, whether I should invest in it or not. We're just gonna put the flaps out. I think we're gonna need a lot, and we're just gonna take off and continue talking. It's quite a difficult runway. It slants a lot, so I just need to pause because I've got an add-on on my other screen, Flight Sim Commander, and that's gonna guide us, hopefully, to safety. Ooh, oh my gosh! Well, whoops, trim was set a bit violently there. Wow. Okay, so, wow, some awesome scenery. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. Trying to level off and fly around in between these mountains. Got realistic weather, so real world weather and stuff. Currently -4 degrees. Outside temp. Obviously our current altitude is about 6,200-ish feet. So, flight simulators. Well, last time I did a video about this was just before Christmas. Just bring back the mixture a little bit. Quantum. Flying between these mountains here. We're trying to find our way back. Wind is quite heavy. We've got a headwind of 11 knots at the moment, which affects playing like this quite a bit. So, last time I did a video on this, it was about the new flight simulators. It was X-Plane 11, I believe, and Dovetail Flight Simulator. And I said that they're both releasing before Christmas. Well, in theory, X-Plane 11 did release in beta form before Christmas. Dovetail Games, we have literally not heard anything from them since I made that video. When I made that video, they recently made an announcement on a charity live stream or something that they were going to release it before Christmas. And they're going to anyway, they decided to postpone it till after Christmas. This is just before Christmas. And they said December, I think they were planning on releasing it. And they postponed it. And they said it postponed it till after December. They said they'd give us an update in January. January's one. No update. No update even in February. And, well, we're pretty much at the end of February now. So I'm just wondering, what are Dovetail doing? I mean, obviously they're still working on it, but we haven't heard anything from them, which is a bit annoying, which is why I've decided to invest in X-Plane 11. And boy, was that a good decision, because it is, well, as you can see, quite phenomenal. I mean, in our flight sim community, there's so much sort of bitching about who's got a better simulator, who's spent a bit more money on their simulator, and who's got this and who's got that. And it's the same in our racing community as well. In the sim racing community, especially with R-Factor and iRacing, it is just really childish, and the people who do it are obviously, you know, they're fucking idiots. But, you know, hey, it is what it is sometimes. You can't get rid of all the idiots. In fact, we might want to put a bit more mixture in. Give it full mix. I mean, we're nowhere near stalling, but, you know, it's nice to, yeah. But surprisingly, we've actually went down in altitude. Since we've started. Oh well. And yeah, and there's all this sort of bitching, you know, like in the community, in sim communities especially, about, I don't know, I suppose a flight simulator is an expensive hobby, there's no doubt about it. You know, I mean, you end up investing quite a lot of money in your desired sim. Some people have multiple sims. Obviously I have FSX, I don't have Prepared. I have been, I was fortunate enough to be given a copy of Prepared 3D. I think it was 3D. I did a video on it on this channel ages ago. I think it was Prepared 3D. I don't really use it though. I just have a copy. Because I find FSX is pretty much the same thing, and obviously I have all my add-ons on FSX. And although, you know, some of them, like, you can, like, get either a small upgrade cost or whatever, or sometimes it's even free, which is even better. On others, you know, it's, you know, like the PMDG, you need to spend an extra 80 quid on it, and it's just, you know, yeah, I'd just rather keep my add-ons on one sim. So, anyway, I'm going to be talking about X-Plane 11, what I think about it. I've been playing it for a couple of days now. I played the demo. I very rarely play the demo of any type of game, sim, doesn't really matter. And, like I say, I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was... I mean, I've played X-Plane for a long time, as you guys know. I've done videos on X-Plane before. Me and Marco, a fellow racer, or at least former fellow racer anyway, we're still good mates. We we used to play X-Plane a lot. It was the sim we used, and I got him into flight simulation. He decided to invest in X-Plane, and yeah, and we had an awesome laugh. We also ended up going into FSX, and you know, again, it was really good fun, going online and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, I was sort of hesitant whether to go to X-Plane again, because although I do have X-Plane 10, right, we might need to do quite a manoeuvre here. I normally end up crashing when I ever do VFR flights, yeah, so I ain't going to be making that. So, got to turn around fairly quickly. And head back. God, I just dropped a ton of altitude. Right, I need to find my way back to the airport, which is going to be fun. I think I kind of went this way. I think I just went a fairly logical route, to be fair. Yeah, I think it's a left here. Hopefully we should be alright. And I've played X-Plane, and I know how good it looks, you know. I've played X-Plane 10. It looks awesome. But the thing with X-Plane 10 is I always found the UI extremely frustrating. And it was never really... It was good, don't get me wrong, but it was just... It always frustrated me. It often crashed. I mean, to be fair, so does FSX. But it often crashed, and it's... I don't know. It's just something about it. I just had a little bit of a bug, which I'm not sure what it was. But don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic sim, and I do really enjoy X-Plane 10. And yeah, and I had a lot of fun, and I had X-Plane 11, and I played the demo, and after playing a demo, I very rarely, like, you know, I rarely end up playing a demo, because I'd rather do my research and then get the, like, game or whatever. But obviously X-Plane is quite an expensive game. Oh my god, there's a road here. Wow. Wouldn't like to be driving down there. You know, and I played the demo, and after not very long I thought, wow, this is incredible. So I ended up getting the beta, which anyone can buy into, which I have done. So yeah. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And the sim is awesome. It really is superb. I mean, graphically, you can see it's pretty incredible. There's a few rough edges here and there. That's to be expected. It's a beta. I mean, when you're flying really close to the ground, it's always difficult to get a perfectly amazing sim. But when you're flying in, it's very noticeably better than graphically than other sims. And that's the first point of X-Plane 11. The flight model is incredible. It still has this thing though where the wind seems to really, really, really affect the plane. Now I'm not sure how realistic that is, but now I need to just judge where I'm going. But it just seems extremely, I just don't know, it just feels a small amount of wind will literally turn the plane on the ground, which seems quite strange. Again, it might just be a beta bug, and I hope it is, and that's something which frustrated me a little bit in X-Plane 10, because I found I had this kind of weird bug. Now the airport should be pretty much in front of us somewhere, not that far away now. I'm going to show you guys the UI as well of this sim. let me just go outside so I can check where this airport is. You can see this view. From this view here, it's pretty incredible. In fact, where did we fly up to? I think we flew up to about here, then we turned around. Right, the airport must be somewhere. Oops. Down here then. I'm actually using Flight Sim Commander, which is actually an add-on I have for FSX. So yeah, that's going pretty well. So I'm pretty pleased it works, for sure. That's a bit to our left. So X-Plane 11 is definitely a major step forwards, and this is just a beta. The actual version of the full release is March the 30th. So look out for that if you're interested. I think you can get it on Steam. I got X-Plane 10 on Steam, and I think you'd probably be better off getting it off their website. It is likely to be more expensive, but you do get things like updates more like quickly and stuff. We just need to ascend a little bit. The airport is pretty close to us now. It's just over this little ledge, if we can get up it. Oh god, we're gonna stall, aren't we? Oh god, no. This is the issue I always have. Flight simulation. Especially on video. I can never do a VFR flight. It doesn't matter how hard I try. Oh my god, this is actually quite a steep gradient, to be fair. Right, okay, I've fairly balls that up, to be fair. Right, let's pick up a load of speed. I'm going to give it another go. So, you know, yeah, I would definitely recommend X-Plane. It's an incredible sim. You can see graphically how nice it looks. The roads, that's another thing altogether. The roads are identical to the ones in real life. Now, the area I live, which is in the Stratford-upon-Avon area in the UK, well, I actually live on the outskirts, but I did a route home, and I visually followed the road I would take, and I took the right roundabouts, like, you know, I took, I don't know, like the first exit or whatever of the roundabout, and it took me all the way home. And the distance was correct, the elevation of the ground was even correct. There's a hill on my route home, and it goes slightly downhill and towards left, and it did it, and it actually did it in the sim. It's incredibly visually accurate. In fact, it's the most realistic, visually accurate world mapped sim ever. It must be. I was seriously impressed with. I was just seriously impressed. And I showed my dad as well, and he was also really impressed. Now, where the hell is this airport? Is that it there? Nope. God, this is a bit of a nightmare to find, isn't it? Yeah, I'm using, like I said, I'm using Flight Sim Commander, and I'm just gonna, well, let's just, I think it's sort of, if I need to turn right in a minute. Well, yeah. And anyway, so, and again, I've tried it with a couple of different areas. I mean, my area isn't a particularly well-known area. I mean, it's obviously a Shakespeare area. They ain't going to think about that when they're building the sim. So, considering it's generated, it was I was, yeah, really impressed. I was really impressed. It was, yeah, awesome. And although these roads we're seeing now, they probably are, or they will be, accurate, so if you live in this area, or whatever, then you might recognise some of these roads. Because they're real, and they are where they are. In FSX and stuff, it's just a texture on above the terrain, but in X-Plane it's a different layer. It's nothing to do with the terrain as far as X-Plane is concerned, which is why, you know, they look how they look, and the roads are like, you know, they're you can land on them and what have you, and like things like a bridge is a bridge. It's a hard object. In FSX you just fly straight through it. One thing they've done in X-Plane 11 is the houses are European houses, which look awesome, rather than just all being American style. Oh, this is obviously a ski resort. Gonna power back now. Land now. There's a bit of a gradient, so we've got to be careful how we approach this. So I want quite a lot of speed. Awesome. So, and which is also, and I don't know how, but they also have loads and loads of cars, like going on the roads, which I always think is awesome. I love how they have that. They have so many different cars or whatever. Again, you can see there's helicopters glitched into the ground or what have you, which is, you know, it's really is to be expected in a beta like this. It's not, I say it's far from finished, it's pretty much finished, but there's a lot of patching up to do. Also, they don't simulate snow textures. There is a like a little pack you can get, but yeah, it's not, hasn't really been snow hasn't been simulated. Also, one thing I love, which FSX and stuff doesn't have, is these are my exact movements at the exact time. Like, it's not like if I did that in X-Plane, it would still be like, you know, in FSX. Sorry, if I went like that, it would still be sort of trying to keep up with what I'm doing. Anyway, let's pull the mixture out, turn the AVs off. Awesome. And also, the airport life is so much better now than it used to be. Let me just show you by opening up an airport you'll be familiar with, something like Heathrow or something. I set the weather to clear, just for the sake of it. Heathrow, customize. Also, this is awesome. You can see the UIs are different. Yeah, you can like click on where you want to go. So stand 103. For the sake of seeing lots of airplanes, we'll go here. Hopefully it's not already in the spot, otherwise we'll just sort of be inside like a jumbo jet or something like that, which will be fun. The UI is so much better, which I sort of go through in not very much detail, but, you know, just basic UI, so you can have a look at it and see what you think. It's quite fast at loading. It's probably about the same as FSX or P3D. Obviously it's 64-bit, which is a massive plus side, and so is X-Plane 10. The landing lights, this image here, I mean, although it's a lot of people would think, it's just a bit of fancy artwork. Well, lights really do look like that at night, and I'll change time as well so you guys can see. You know, they really do look like that, and it looks incredible. It's amazing how realistic it is. I might just stick myself on a 3-mile approach and put it at night, and just so you can have a look at the night lights. My sim is pretty much default. I have a couple of freeware bits, enhanced runways, and taxi markings and stuff. That's about it really. There's not too much. Yeah, I mean, there's a great thing with X-Plane though, is everything's freeware. Well, I say everything's freeware. A lot of stuff's freeware. You end up saving a lot of money inside the sim, which is always awesome, which I like. So, this is Heathrow. Now, this is obviously a default airport. If I can, hang on, just got a bit of a frame rate. Right, scenario, go to view, was it ride along, do we want? Yeah, we do. So, default airport, and well, you can see all the life in this airport. I mean, where's our plane? I don't even know where our plane is, it's tiny. Oh, there it is. I mean, you can see all these, they do stuff. If you're in a jet and stuff, you can request ground services by going up to flight, request ground services. It's the same with pushback. The tug comes up and pushes you back. These planes are all, they're not static aircraft. They will move around, I think. But no, I don't think they will. No, they won't necessarily move around. Some of them do. You can set the amount of aircraft you have around you at only one point. You can have like up to 20, I think, or something. Well, you can see these machines are around the aircrafts. Look, each stand has its own sort of army of machinery, and all this moves around. I mean, the airport has a lot of life to it. Over here, there's loads and loads of planes and what have you, which is awesome. There's always like a little car moving around the airport. The roads are actively busy. Where's the is it the M1 or is it the M5? I forgot. Look at the amount of cars and stuff in the car park. There's a lot. There's someone driving around. There's cars here, there. I mean, and it doesn't affect the frame rate. I mean, I'm running comfortably at 25 FPS in an airport. And it's about the same in a jet. It's not that much different. These houses and stuff is very well populated. There's lots of trees. I mean, once you look at a little bit further in the distance, it starts to fade out and might actually be like that though. I'm not really sure. But it's incredible. There's a train there. There's just so much life in X-Plane, which FSX simply doesn't have. I mean, for maybe like, I don't know how realistic that amount of traffic is. There's probably a little bit more in real life, but I can't believe there's too much more, especially at the current time. It's only like 8:30. I mean, I know we're next to an airport, so it should be busy, but there definitely wasn't this many cars and stuff when we were in France, in that little French one, airport. And this like little junction here, I mean they have road markings. When you fly in the States, they actually have the intersections and stuff. I mean, like, this here, in real life, that exists. All these turnings exist, these car parks exist. Everything, I love it. I love how it's accurately, really well modelled. Let me do a quick nighttime thing, just so I can show you the night lighting, because it really is quite amazing. We obviously want to start with engines running. That will be interesting. Whoops. Flight configuration. Change location. Alright, so obviously here you can either start ramp or runway. I'm going to start runway. Going to go from this side here. The sort of west. Do a 3-mile approach. Hit confirm. Night time, we have, I don't know, very early morning. 6:15. And you can see how awesome this looks. It's probably about this time this was actually. I might fly it in. So, here we go. You can see how awesome the sim looks at night. I mean, let's just quickly, just need to, oh my gosh, well, yeah, my trim, it's not very good. So let's hit pause. Look at this. I mean, the cars have lights. Let's just hit a free camera. I mean, the houses are lit up. These look genuinely, or they look realistic, all these street lights. There's even 2 lights per lamp, and there's lamps. Ah, here's those signs I was talking about. You can't really see it there. Not sure how realistic that the signs are. It might not be realistic, but it's pretty cool that they have them. And I know in the US the signs are green. Obviously in the UK they're blue. Like, this night lighting is... Honestly, if you were shown that shot, you probably wouldn't be able to tell if it was real or not. If you just saw it on the internet, on a picture. You would simply not be able to tell if it was real. Again, if you saw that, you probably couldn't tell if it was real. Obviously, when you zoom in, I mean, that's obviously not real, but it's amazing. It has the split there of the lights. It's real. It baffles me how realistic it is. I mean, the car lights seem a bit different. It does completely baffle me how realistic this sim is. It's you know, it's really, really phenomenal. I've got some scenery here, giving me buildings like the BP building here. We've got Canary Wharf over here, London City's there. You know, O2, Buckingham Palace, Parliament, Tower Bridge, Big Ben. I'm not sure what that complex is there. Obviously, Buckingham Palace is there. The Shard. It's all pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure there's Gherkin somewhere as well. In fact, this is just freeware scenery, which I got, which is amazing. And yeah, it is incredible. And the light out of the houses is where the windows of the house is. That really is, yeah, quite ridiculously phenomenal. I've got to say, it is phenomenal. Let's try this approach and then we're going to end the video. So yeah, I mean, in fact, let's try this. I want to try and see if they've modeled Terminal 2. This is just default. Unlike FSX or whatever, X-Plane does come with a load of Aerosoft scenery. This is one of them. So this is more detailed than most airports. That's a bit of a disclaimer there. So they're not all like this. However, Wellesbourne Airfield, which is an airfield near me, again, it's been realistically modelled. It's not in. It's no. You know, it's just an airfield. It's a small, disused World War II airfield. Well, it is used, but it used to be for World War II. I need to go on this GP quite quickly. So I wonder if traffic looks probably about the same, to be fair. And again, it was realistic. I mean, they had what's it called, a logistics company, or like a dispatch logistics company, which in real life is true. They do. They had a little restaurant cafe by the airport, which they have. It's amazing. Like, you know I'm going on about how amazing the sim is, but it's just like nothing I've ever experienced. I've never had this level of detail in a simulator before. And yeah, it's so strange how they've got it, like, as good as it is. Like, you know, these lights and FSX and stuff in Orbex, if you get FTX Global or what, and you see the lights, they're just like basically little bits of bulbs, and they do look awesome, you know, they make the sim look so much nicer at night. But there's not a lamp. Every time you see a light, there is a lamp underneath it in X-Plane, and that's what I like. And performance is better than FSX for the quality, I believe. They are coming in quite hot, but I won't. We just flare it and we'll just go long. Be a nice smooth landing at least. Oh. You know, there isn't just a light for the sake of having, like, a glorified bulb. Again, the runway lights look... wow. They really are wow. You know, it looks like Flytampa's Amsterdam airport. And all the airports have these amazing lighting effects. Terminal 2 is on this side, I think. I might be wrong, though. Terminal 2's the newest terminal in Heathrow, if any of you are wondering. One thing I would say is the control on the ground of the airplane needs quite a bit of tweaking. FSX has it on that, definitely. It makes a lot of screeching. The brakes don't screech under braking now, which is nice. Look, I'm not doing anything, and the plane is just moving at a ridiculous amount. Let's just turn off the plane, or at least the engines. I'm gonna worry about the avionics. Yeah, the plane, you know, looks really nice. Let's see if we can have a slightly closer look. In fact, let's hit 3 camera. You know, Terminal 2... I can't really see it at night. It doesn't really matter. Oh, that could be it there. There's a lot of life around this airport, and I do like it. And I will say, is that the sim when I do these sort of things, because I've done a couple of these to have prepared Explain 10 and now Explain 11. I say, oh yeah, this is the future of flight sim, and there's no point. There's never saying, oh, this is the future of flight sim. It's a major step forwards in flight sim, for sure. But it's not the future of flight sim. Oh, I also have a world traffic plugin which I might show you guys in a later video. Really adds a aircraft movement to the airport, which is nice. Anyway, guys, it's been quite a long video, so apologies if it's been a bit boring. I hope it hasn't. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're thinking of X-Plane, I hope this sort of shows you the kind of things you can expect from a casual simmer, as I am. You know, I'm not a I'm not the sort of person who religiously practices flight simulation. You know, I don't really have the time or the patience, because I mean, I know the basic knowledge, and I can, like, you know, I can perfectly get from A to B in any jet's little plane. I don't know the basics, but I don't know what all the bits are. I rarely do cold and dark startup. You know, I obviously know how to cold and C&D a Cessna or something, but Boeing or whatever, I struggle with. So yeah, hope this has enlightened you to X-Plane. I highly recommend you try the demo out. It is free. The only issue with the demo is obviously you're confined to a relatively small area. It's not tiny. It's about about 100 square kilometers, maybe a couple of hundred. It has Kilo Sierra Alpha Echo KSEA. Echo Alpha even, yeah, Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha, Seattle in the States. This is a demo area. Also, you have a 20-minute limit, and then the sim sort of like quits or tells you that you've run out of time and you have to relaunch it. I recommend you try it. If I didn't use a sim, I definitely wouldn't have X-Plane. But obviously, you need to see if your sim runs it, system runs it, and what have you. And yeah, it's a fantastic piece of software. I couldn't highly recommend you have it more. And that's been my little review talking about X-Plane and other flight simulators. Thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye. See you soon.